She's not wearing a mask.
I don't worry about anything. I swear, I'm coming back as a bird.
Speaking of pandemic slash bird flu slash just the whole thing. How to never get into a pandemic ever again, I think should be the right subject matter.
Can you kill a virus?
A human virus is no different than a computer virus. It's just code. That's all it is. It's not a living thing. It doesn't breathe. It doesn't eat and poop or anything. It's just code. A virus is just some nucleic acid wrapped in a protein code. And that nucleic acid is basically RNA or DNA. It's information. So once it gets inside your cells, once it breaks through into a cell and it uses a living, breathing cell, then it's like a manipulator.
So is the code breakable?
It doesn't matter. If you have a good enough firewall, the code can't do anything. There is RNA slash DNA slash nucleic acid everywhere. When a bird flaps its wings and flies through the air, or a cat or a mouse runs through the house, it spreads dander. That dander is RNA, DNA. And as time goes by, sunlight hits it, oxidation, that RNA, DNA starts to degrade, fall apart. So it's not complete information anymore. It's just garbled information. And you're getting this into your body all the time, and your body, if it's working right, can tell right away, this is not part of me, I'm going to get rid of it. That's a properly functioning body. But if the body's not well, if it's not working right, if it's overloaded, it can't handle all these strangers coming into your country, and it can't handle it. So some of these strangers start to set up shop inside you and start giving instructions, be it weird instructions, strange, like it's all random, hit or miss. I mean, it could be anything, and then and it's inside of a living cell and the cells split. So now you have everything multiplying. Now I'm really making this basic for people. I mean, this is really oversimplifying, but I'm trying to explain. Virus is not a living thing. It's just code. And if your immune system is properly functioning, and if you have enough like stomach acid and proper defense systems to eat, the acid, basically that's why one of the reasons you have stomach acid is when you swallow stuff, it goes into boiling acid and it dissolves. So it doesn't just break down food, it breaks down everything. It kills it. It dissolves it. It protects you against bacteria, viruses, parasites.
Right. And if our acid is strong and potent, it will kill that. If it's weak.
Your skin has acid on it. Your skin has an acidic layer. All the body parts, your sinuses, your skin, your colon, the vagina, anything that can get exposed to the outside world is acidic because there's stuff floating in the air all the time. And if it lands on you, you don't want it to start multiplying and eating you up. So acids are very protective for that. Everything that you are is basically acid. Your amino acids, nucleic acids, all kinds of acids are.
Does alkaline water lower your acid in your stomach?
Yes, that's one. We did a whole video on.
So it's not good.
You don't want alkaline anything in your stomach because it's going to lower your stomach acid, lower your defenses. So, calcium pills, antacids, alkaline water, all that stuff. I don't want to get all these people all riled up again. But the point is, acid is a defense layer. It dissolves things, it eats things, it kills things.
Could you ever have too much acid?
That's very unlikely. Acidosis is a very rare condition in the human body. The body self-regulates itself. It buffers itself. So it's very, very, very rare for somebody to get too high or too low because you've got the body, like I said, if the body's functioning right, you are A-okay. And these bits of DNA that are coming from everything, like just floating around when your skin cells, as you're shedding, that's DNA. You've got code from everything, from all over the world, blowing in the wind.
Can I ask a question? I've always wondered, what happens to me if pigeons fly over me? What falls on me? I try and hurry up and walk away.
Anybody who's ever had a bird, like a cockatoo or African gray or anything like that, or a parrot, they know that birds, everything in the house gets covered in a white dust after a while, and they have allergy issues because birds flap around, and there's so much dander. We shed millions over time, billions of skin cells. Although everything in the house is covered with human skin
Yeah, I
cells.
guess
It's
snakes
disgusting
are
to
the
think that.
only thing that snakes and cicadas aren't the only ones.
Well, everything sheds. That's part of the human, the living thing. Is the cells grow, they shed. New one, the old ones die off, the new ones come in. People start having a lot of asthma and breathing problems. Those who have birds should know this. Same thing with pets. You have any kind of pet in the house, you are breathing in animal DNA all the time. Human DNA. That you're at the grocery store, all these people mixing. They talk about shedding, which is just a fancy word for spreading. I mean, it's just a virus gets out of the host cell, and you can breathe it, talk it. It just comes out of everything in you. And it just floats through the air. It lands on your clothes and your hair. And hair is a great filter for collecting anything. Of course, you breathe it in. It gets all over you, and it's impossible. You cannot avoid breathing in, soaking in, getting it on you. There are viruses that have been around since the beginning of time. Billions and billions, I sound like Carl Sagan, of DNA matter, of nucleic acid, of RNA floating through the air, degrading and getting weird and funky, and you're breathing it in.
And what is that called? Shedding?
Shedding is when something gets in you, it sets up shop inside of a cell. It's kind of like, remember the Alien movie where the baby alien gets inside of a human body, it breeds and grows, and then when it's ready to have some fun with the world, it busts out of its host, and the host dies, and then the alien goes, like that. Except the difference here is this isn't a living thing. It just uses, because cells divide. You live by your cells dividing. So if you have code in that cell, it divides and it spreads and it spreads. And just like a computer virus, it can spread from computer to computer. And that's how it doesn't actually live. It's just instructions that tell your cells what to do. Ultimately, every living thing has DNA, RNA that then sheds, floats through the air, lands on you. You walk 5 feet, it brushes off your shoulders onto the next person. The stupid mask thing. I mean, it's all over you. You can't avoid a virus. You can't avoid bacteria. It's just part of life. Everybody's getting this stuff on them, in them, and all that. So why are some people getting sick and others aren't? Well, what's the difference? This person has a healthy immune system. This person doesn't. This person can handle foreign matter. This one can't. What's the difference? Well, this one's probably eating junk food, beer, pizza, cigarettes, alcohol,
low in vital nutrients,
hamburgers, vaping, you name it. This person is, the standard American diet, French fries, all that. This person is probably a little more active, a little healthier. They get a proper sleep.
Their army's ready to fight. The latter has food hangover.
Right, and stress and all this stuff. So that's really the difference. If you have a strong immune system, you can handle just about anything. And I've made videos about this, but some people just tell me what to take. Just tell me what to take so I can get rid of it. They think a vaccine is going to make them, but there are people getting the vaccine who are getting COVID again. They're just not healthy. And there's people who are healthy and don't get the vaccine and are fine, even when exposed to it. So yeah, you can be a carrier, but everybody's a carrier. Everybody. The wind, the bird, the cat, everything is a carrier.
Even after vaccination?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it doesn't matter if you're immune to it or not. The stuff, anything, floats through the air, lands on you, on your clothes, on your hair. You walk around, and as you're walking, some of it floats off onto the next person.
Kind of like pollen.
Right. And that's just the way it is. And it's a great way of normalizing and balancing things in the world so they even out. And that's nature. So the strong survive, the weak don't. It's always been like this. This is nothing new. It's just the way life has always been from the beginning of time. And we think it's some, it doesn't have to be a man-made conspiracy. It doesn't have to be a weaponized thing to wipe out the population. If the population is eating hamburgers and smoking and drinking, they're going to wipe themselves out anyway. They're weak and they're ready to be the next dinosaur, and they're going to just wipe themselves out anyway. So it doesn't require a conspiratorial government to do that.
Well, the only difference is people who support the meat industry are going to take a bunch of us with them.
The sugar industry, the meat industry, the coffee industry, the refined wheat, the dairy industry, all that stuff weakens your body. It's addictive. It tastes good. We get used to it. We're brainwashed to have it.
I call certain foods that a lot of people eat, I call it traumatizing their bodies. And if you traumatize your body on a regular basis, something's going to happen, and it's not good.
Nature rewards the strong who stay strong. By strong, I mean those who are willing to do what's right, to eat what they're designed to eat. You know, people are not designed to eat frozen pizza and candy bars and, refined foods and sugar and, suck milk out of another animal.
And I'm sorry for people like that work in New York and, in busy cities, and there's only junk restaurants around them. And they're like, well, what am I supposed to eat while I'm at work for 8 to 10 hours a day? I swear, I would just stick to making a salad sandwich, wrapping it up, making a huge salad, tossing that in a jar, and, maybe some hummus and some good chips, because by the time it's lunchtime, wherever you are, you're going to be so ravenous, you're going to want to eat anything. May as well be something healthy.
New York's actually got some healthy stuff. It's popping up. It's like...
Because I watched a movie... and they were eating, it was a bunch of lawyers, and they showed them on lunch break, and they're out on the city streets, and I didn't realize, I had no idea that they suffered so trying to find healthy alternatives for lunch.
That's another good example. Doesn't matter how rich you are and how successful you are. Most people don't know what health is. And it's not a money thing. I mean, some of the non-wealthiest people, the hippies, are the ones that eat the healthiest food.
Yeah.
For those who have no money at all, eating weeds is the wild plants growing out of the cracks of sidewalk. That's the most nutritious food you can get. I've made all kinds of videos about that. But the way to never get a pandemic again is not to make more vaccines. Viruses, they mutate, they change, they adapt, just like everything else. It adapts, it changes. Time does that. So really, you're wasting time trying to hide the symptom. What you should do is make your body strong enough so it can withstand anything, and you don't need to shut the world down, and you don't need to vaccinate people. If everybody actually started eating right, not that this is going to happen, but let's say everybody in the world suddenly started eating food that is found in nature.
No, we must close the world down before everybody eats healthy. We must close the world.
Well, they don't know. Most people in the government, in the medical world, are just plain stupid. They're taught by the Drug Administration, the AMA.
They have agendas.
But it's all about treating symptoms and not the cause. Ask any doctor what causes the illness you have. They don't know. All they know is what to prescribe you to get rid of the symptom and maybe cut out the body part. That's all they know. But the point is, if everybody in the world started eating the way nature intended, no more bread and sugar and dairy and processed food, refined food, nothing baked in an oven, just eating an apple off a tree, eating a carrot out of the ground, eating a berry off a bush, whatever nature intended. If everybody lived that way and started exercising and getting sunlight and getting rid of the stress in their life, again, not that this is going to happen, but if everybody did that, there will not be a pandemic.
Right.
Some people will get sick. The weak, just like in Africa, the weak in the herd will get picked off by the lions, which are the parasites, and the strong, most of the herd will be fine, and they'll carry on, and the strong survive, and they won't have to shut the world down. That's the only way you can stop a pandemic. And I'm not saying obviously it's unrealistic. It's not going to happen, but maybe.
But it's logical. Logical, yes.
Maybe some great thing will happen where world consciousness suddenly goes up a few notches and everybody gets it and they start doing what they're designed for. But again, people are addicted to comfort, instant gratification, money. They just want a quick fix. They want to hide the symptoms. They don't want to change what's causing. Look at how hard it is for people to stop eating bread and milk and coffee and sugar. And
that was the hardest for me to give up, bread. I just didn't think it was that bad, like everybody else.
I know they're going to say I'm talking too much. Let Kara talk.
Oh, no, I'm fascinated.
I just get riled up about this stuff. I mean, I just get really, Marcus, you're so angry all the time. You're so pissed off at the... Yeah, well, isn't it obvious? I mean, people just don't want to change. And I know there are some who are, but that's the minority. It's like the 5% or less than 1%. And it's just frustrating seeing the whole world get shut down and forced to take this crap shot into their bodies
and buy out all the canned Chef Boyardees and frozen pizzas.
Yeah. That's good stock
to quarantine on.
Yeah, that's good. That's good emergency stock. Yeah. I mean, it's just, you just shake your head at the world and go, I can't believe how people are just, they don't want to, it's almost like, well, again, it's comfort. They don't want to change their comfort ways.
But you're forced to if the world closes down and your job is no more because your employer had to business.
The world's not going to change that. Like people aren't going to get it on such a massive level. Mankind will kill the world before that happens because people are so ingrained to have a quick fix and instant gratification. They believe that meat is the answer for everything. You kill an animal and eat it. That's the answer for everything. Not the carrots and apples. No, it's kill an animal.
Cause suffering.
Sit at a computer and go and do nothing but social media all day or on your cell phone. That's what it's become. They sit all day. Nobody exercises. And they wonder why a pandemic happens.
I drove past a bus stop today. There was 4 people there. All of them were not together, and they were all on their cell phone. That made me want to avoid my cell phone more.
Well, look at when you go to restaurants. It's a family sitting there, mother, daughters, child, all on their cell phones. Not one conversation, not one word. Who are they talking to? Who's more important than your mother, daughter, child, husband?
I can understand how it's addicting, but you just got to fight it and resolve to, only use it.
You know what it is?
Don't let it take control of your life, because I refuse to let anything take control over my life, including social media and that phone.
You know why I think they're on social media? Because they think if they dig deep enough, they're going to find something better than what they have right now.
There's various reasons.
Better clothes, better job, better vacation spots, whatever it is, they're looking for something, a better conversationalist.
Well, yeah, that's what it's set up to do.
And that's the thing. They don't realize that better world that they're looking for, they have to create themselves. It's not out there. You have to create it yourself, and it starts with you.
Well, it's almost like virtual reality in a sense.
Yeah, it's not reality. It's virtual reality.
Yeah.
Virtually there, but it's not really there. It's almost there, but it's not there.
Rather than being locked up in our pod, in a recliner chair with virtual reality, hooked up.
Yeah,
we're just sitting in public with virtual reality hooked up visually.
Yeah. Bruce Willis made a movie about that where everybody...
Replicas.
Where they were just unhealthy vegetables, like just and your fake computer-generated avatar is what's living the life for you, and you're just this vegetable, like, and then you die.
A scary movie. It's quite a wake-up call.
Yeah. So anyway, the only way to really never get a pandemic again and have the world shut down again is for everybody to be... strong immune systems, doing the right thing.
If you don't know how, I always suggest go to healyourself101.com and click on the free download of the book. It should be people's Bibles. It is a lot of people's Bibles. And follow that to a T, you can't go wrong. As far as vaccines go, it's so terrible the way they're dividing us. I don't even like Howard Stern anymore. He is so pushing vaccines. He's so pro-vaccines, and it's like he disrespects, almost hates anybody and badmouths them for not getting it or not wanting to get one. And I think, well, if the CDC says that vaccines are 99.999% effective, why would people like Howard even care if people like me are concerned about getting a vaccine?
If your body has the immunity for the virus, it's not going to breed as much in you. So you're not going to be a breeding ground for it.
Right.
You can still carry it around loosely. It's just going for a little piggyback ride on you, but it's not breeding by the billions inside you, like unhealthy people do. Our breeding grounds are, but anything can be a carrier. So it's silly to try to run away from a virus, to hide it. The best thing is to just be immune to it, to make it so. I mean, look at the people who got the vaccine and are still getting sick. They're still getting COVID. Why? Because they're not healthy.
Their environment hasn't
Because their body.
The virus's environment hasn't changed. It's pleasing to the virus, right?
The body's just a bunch of gooey sugar and bread and dairy.
So this virus feeds off of that?
No, if your body's full of junk, your immune system is not working right. It's low. Your defenses are low, and your body's, and so you're going in. It's like an invader going into a country that is drunk.
Right.
All the soldiers are stoned and drunk and hung over. It's easy to take over that country. Anyway, this is becoming a long video. We could rattle on all day about this.
Oh yeah, I wish we could have
we have a life to live.
I wish we could have people join in on the conversation, but
they will in the comment section.
It's a dangerous world. We have to be ready for it.
It's always been a dangerous world. This is nothing different. It's been like this since the beginning of time.
I know the flu has killed I never knew the flu killed over 150,000 people every year right under my nose.
Pneumonia, it's just, the numbers are staggering, but that's just part of life.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think this was informative. I loved it. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for being here with me, and I hope I have you again on my show very soon.
It's a pleasure to be in your show, ma'am.
No.
You asked some good questions.
Thank you. I'm just curious, and you give great answers. I love it.
All right, people. Thanks a lot for coming, and we'll see you on Kara's show again.